Hey y'all, this is Sarah. A friend suggested that I start sharing videos um, regarding my thoughts about what we're reading in the Bible, and that made me think of a story about when I was a junior in high school. I was in an earth science class, and I did not like the fact that I had to study evolution. Um, and my dad and my grandmother tried to explain to me, like, well, if you look at it as if the creation did not take place over literal days, meaning 24-hour days, if you looked at it as a day is an unknown time period, then it sort of all falls into place. Um, so, the belief that I've held since then has been that creation was not a day or several days as we think of a day. Um, and that has actually served me very well. I was a second grade teacher at a Christian school, and I was talking with some of the staff one day about creation and how you would go about teaching creation, and the same idea that creation did not take place over a literal day came up. So that was the first time that I had ever heard of anyone other than my dad and my grandmother bring up that idea. I sort of thought that it was something that they told me made up just to get me through it at the time. And what this conversation in my adult life helped me to realize is that I just had never matured in my faith um, to come to understand um, that not everything is literal. So basically, so that is what I believe about creation, is that it did not take place over a literal 7 days. I believe that the word day in that context is meant to represent a time period. And so now I would like to apologize and thank Miss Martha Lay, who was my science teacher that I gave such a hard time learning evolution. But I remember the end of that story is that I remember looking in the textbook at the order that everything happened in evolution, and it matched up with the Bible. And I called her over. I called the teacher over, and I said, Miss Lay, look, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that the textbook has things laid out in the same order that the Bible does. And she said, well, yes, I have always been amazed at the Bible for lining up with science. And in that moment, I actually thought to myself, why the teacher had not taken the time with me to say, hey, look, creation did not take place over a literal day, this, that, and the other. I realize as an adult that in a public school setting, you would not be allowed to say that. So I apologize once again, Miss Lay, for disrespecting you in your classroom. I get it, and thank you for everything that you have done for me. Um, so that is all that I have today. Join me next time. I will be reading from Genesis 8 through 11.